Gururev gatihi gurumev bhaje gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave na gurof paramam shishurasmi guror matirasti gurau mama pahi guru. Ram Ram Ram. So in the previous class, we have completed all the lessons, that is prose as well as poetry from the Thritiya point of view. And in the previous class, you had asked me to take up a separate topic. So I had told that we'll discuss two topics. First one will be Vyakarana Vishesha and second one will be Patra Lekhana. So we will start with that. So Vyakarana Vishesha, as the name itself tells, Vyakarana is grammar, Vishesha something special. So they are the exceptions that are present in any language. So every language will have some exceptions because there can't be hard and fast rules in language, because language is something that we are using for communication. So there can be times when we'll have to, or we may have to change the rules which are already there to suit the requirement. And that is what, of course, in several languages like English and some other languages, these rules are too many. You have too many rules and further they're not clearly defined. But Sanskrit is a very beautiful language where even for these exceptions, they have given rules. And that comes under Vyakarana Vishesha. The exceptions that are given separately are called Vyakarana Vishesha. And they can be of two ways. Like there can be two types of Vyakarana Vishesha. First Vyakarana Vishesha is grammatical rules. So some rules are told explicitly. So even though, for example, Guru Vige Vandane or Guru Vige Namaskara. So there, Guru Vige is in Chaturthi Vibhakti. My salutations to the Guru. It is already in Chaturthi Vibhakti, but to further make sure that you understand that it is always Chaturthi Vibhakti, there is a separate rule given. So such rules which we already use commonly, but which are explicitly or separately mentioned, come under the first category, which are grammatical rules. The second one is actually more unique, well-defined exceptions. So if there are exceptions that are against rules, so there may be some rule that we are following. For example, Rajan Shabda is Nakaranta Pullinga Rajan Shabda. Raja, Rajano, Rajana. But there is an exception wherein when you use Rajan Shabda as a samasa, for example, Maharaja. Maharaja samasa, Mahan Chasa or Rajacha. So you'll run samasa in a later stage. But if Rajan Shabda is used in a samasa, then the end word that you will get will become Akaranta instead of Nakaranta. So such exceptions are also given. And the common thing between these two is both of these have a Panini Sutra. And Panini Sutra is like a mathematical formula. So if you know Panini Sutra, you can understand even the exceptions. So that is how great Sanskrit is. Even for exceptions, they have written rules. Because usually exceptions are something that don't follow rules. But Sanskrit, even for exceptions, they have created rules. And that comes under Vyakarana Vishesha. The number of Vyakarana Visheshas are innumerable. So you cannot tell that, okay, there are only 50 Vyakarana Visheshas, there are only 100 Vyakarana Visheshas. It is enormous. But from the exam point of view and from your Tritiya point of view, I have selected some important and necessary Vyakarana Visheshas, which will be most commonly encountering in your exams. So I will discuss them one by one now. First is grammatical. So first we'll see some grammatical rules, then we'll go to the exceptions. So grammatical rule, as I was previously telling you. So always, please learn these Panini Sutras by heart. You have to mention them when they ask you, for example, Vyakarana Vishesham Vishadeta. That is one of the mains that you have in Sanskrit in Tritiya exam. So when they ask that, you have to mention these Panini Sutras or else you will not be given full points. So please learn these sutras that I am telling you today. So the sutra is Namah Swasti Swaha Swadhalam Vashat Yogacha. Namah Swasti Swaha Swadha Alam Vashat Yogacha. So here, what this rule is telling is, when you use the words like Namaha, Swasti, Swaha, Swadha, Alam, Vashat, these 6 words when you use. So what is the meaning of this? Namaha, salutation. Swasti, good, something that is your blessing. Swasti is like a blessing. Swaha, when you do a homa, you tell Agnaye Swaha, etc. So Swaha is using homas. Swadha is also used as an alternative for Swaha. Alam is enough. Vashat. So Vashat is also another offering. So when it is Swadha, when you are doing it to, when you do it to gods, and Vashat is used when you are doing it to Pitrus, that is your elders. If you are doing it for Pitr Karyas, then use the word Vashat. So all these words when you use, to whom you are using them, that will be in Chaturthi Vibhakti. My salutations to the Guru. To whom are you giving your salutations? to the Guru. So that Guru will be in Chaturthi Vibhakti. For example, Gurave Namaha. So Guru Shabda, Ukaranta Pullinga. Chaturthi is Gurave. So Gurave Namaha. Ganeshaya Namaha. Ganesha is similar to Rama. Ramaya Namaha. Ganeshaya Namaha. Gurave Namaha. Shambhave Namaha. So all these. So you are saluting to someone, to whomever you are saluting, that person will get Chaturthi Vibhakti. Swasti, again, when you're doing Homa, Agnaye Swaha. Sorry, Swasti will discuss it later. Swaha. Agnaye Swaha. Indraya Swaha. So Agni is Ikaranta. Agnaye will be similar to Kavaye. So Chaturthi again. Agnaye Swaha. Indraya Swaha. Swasti. So if you are blessing someone, say, Tubhyam Swasti. Ninage Vallayadagali. To you, let everything be good. So Swasti also will get Chaturthi. So to whomever you are giving this blessing, that receiver of the blessing will take Chaturthi Vibhakti. Tubhyam or te. Again, Vashat. Indraya Vashat. Pitrabhya Vashat. Swadha. All these, whenever you use, for example, Indraya Swadha, Pitrabhya Swadha, if you're using such as well, these words, so if in the exam they give you, Agnaye Swaha, Vyakarana Vishesham Vishadayata, if they ask you, then Namaha Swasti Swaha Swadha Alam Vashat Yoga Cha. According to this Panini Sutra, when the words Namaha Swasti Swaha Swadha Alam Vashat are used, the person to whom these salutations are addressed to will be in Chaturthi Vibhakti. So whatever I have given in this slide, whatever I'm showing on the screen, if you write that much, that is enough. Additionally, you can give extra examples. So if they've given Agnaya Swaha, give Gurave Namaha, Indraya Swaha, etc. You give extra examples to show that you have understood the concept. Any doubts in this first rule? Namaswasti Swaha Swada Alam Vashat Yogacha. Next is Antara Antarena Yukte. So there are two words that we are discussing. Antara, Antarena. Antara means in between. So in between you and me, in between the two houses. So that is Antara. Antarena is without. So when you see the examples, you'll come to know. Tvam, Mam, Antara, Harihi. So here what is the rule? When you use Antara and Antarena, the corresponding word to whom you are addressing to will get Dvitiya Vibhakti. So if you are telling, in between you and me, there is Hari. In between you and me, in between whom are we talking about? The two people involved in the in between is you and me. Both of them will become Dvitiya Vibhakti. So Yushmat Shabda, Tvam Yuvam Yuyam, Tvam. Aham Avam Vayam, Mam. So since we both are the people in between, someone is there, we both will get Dvitiya Vibhakti. Tvam, Mam, Antara, Harihi. In between you and me is Hari. If you convert it into Kannada, Ninna Hagu Nanna Madhyadalli, it will become Shashti Vibhakti if you try to convert it or translate it into Sanskrit. That is why this rule has specifically we mentioned that Antara Antarena Yukte. And again, Antarena, without. Jnanam Antarena na Sukham. Without knowledge, there is no happiness. Jnanavu illadiddare. If you take Kannada, Jnanavu illadiddare, it will become U. That is Prathama Vibhakti. But here, according to the rule, Antarena is used. Hence, without what are you not happy? Without Jnana. So, you are addressing it to Jnana. Hence, Jnana will get Dvitiya Vibhakti. Tvam Mam Antara Harihi. Jnanam Antarena na Sukham. So, these two words, Antara, Antarena, when you use, if you are telling about Antara, the people in between whom something you are talking about, that those two people will get Dvitiya Vibhakti. Antarena, without what you are discussing, that thing will get Dvitiya Vibhakti. Dharmam Antarena na Sukham. Without dharma, there is no happiness. Dhanam Antarena na Vaibhogyam. Without money, there is no prosperity. So, Dhanam Antarena na Vaibhogyam. So, these are the examples that you can give. Again, use the same format. Give additional examples. If they have given you Tvamam Antara Harihi, use Jnanam Antarena na Sukham. So keep these examples in mind, because if you give examples, the examiner will be impressed and he'll surely make sure that you get full points. There won't be any chance of cutting any marks for this answer. Any doubts in this question, in this rule? Let me go to the next rule. Sahayukte Pradhani. This is also one of the, so the Namaswasti Swaha Swada is one important question because it is most commonly asked. Another commonly asked question is Sahayukte Pradhani. Again, it's a Pururupa Sandhi there. Sahayukte Apradhani. So what it is telling is Saha, that is Sa and Ha, not Sa with a Visarga. Please remember, Sa with a Visarga is different, Sa with Ha is different. So we are talking about Sa, Ha. as you can see here. Saha, not saha. So when the word saha is used, saha means with, along with. The person with whom you are going with, that will get Tritiya Vibhakti. For example, I go with my mother. I go with my friend. I go with my father. So you're going along with someone. That person with whom you're going with, that person will get Tritiya Vibhakti. I go with my friend. Aham mitrena saha gacchami. I go with my father. Pita shabda, pita pitaro pitarha, pitaram pitaro pitarha pitra. Aham pitra saha gacchami. I go with my father. Ramena saha Sita gatavati. So Sita is going, but she's going along with Rama. So since she's going along with Rama, Ramena saha Sita vanam gatavati. If you want to tell the other way, Rama went to the forest along with Sita, then it will become Ramaha Sitaya saha vanam gatavan. Again, gatavan, gatavati. Remember, that is tavatu pratyaya. Since you're talking about Sita in this sentence, in the sentence given on the screen, Sita gatavati, she went. So you should use Strilinga, Sita gatavati. But if I change this order, Rama went to the forest along with Sita. Since Rama is a person who is going, it will become Gatavan. Ramaha Sitaya saha vanam Gatavan. So don't get confused. Keep one thing in mind and learn that properly. So this is Sahayukte Pradhani, a very commonly asked question. When you get the word, when Saha is used along with in the sentence, then the person along with whom you are going, that person will get Tritiya Vibhakti. Any doubts in this question?
No.
Okay. Abhitah paritah samaya nikasha ha prayogepi. This is not quite commonly asked, but still it might be necessary because it is a very commonly dealt with Panini Sutra. So what it is telling is, all these are showing directions. Abhitah, everywhere. Paritah, around. Samaya, near. Nikasha, nearby. So all these are showing some correlation, so some distance. So everywhere, somewhere, near, around, all these words. So when these four words, Abhitah, Paritah, Samaya, Nikasha, when these words are used, then what these words are showing relation with, that will be in Dvitiya Vibhakti. For example, around the house, there are trees. So around what are the trees? House. So that house will get Dvitiya Vibhakti. So Graham is Napumsakalinga Pada. Since Graham is a Napumsakalinga Pada, you won't understand if it is Prathama or Dvitiya. Hence I've taken Shalam Paritaha. So Shala is Akaranta Strilinga. So around the school, there is a garden. So Shalam Paritaha. Since the garden is around the school, that school will get Dvitiya Vibhakti. Hence Shalam. Shalam Paritaha Udyanam Asti. Again, around me, there is air. Air is everywhere. So, yeah, not around me. Abhitaha is everywhere. So, everywhere around me, there is air. So, Maam Abhitaha. Everywhere around me, there is Vayu. There is air. Again, close, nearby. Near the city, there is a forest. Near the city, there is a waterfall. Near the city, there is a temple, if you want to tell this. So, near what are we talking about? The city. So, Nagaram. Nagaram Samaya Devalayah asti, Nagaram Samayah Shala asti, Nagaram Samaya Jalashayah asti. Or Vidyate. Vidyate is what I've used here. You can use asti as well. So Nagaram. Nagara will get Dvitiya because they're talking near the city. Hence Nagaram will get Dvitiya Vibhakti. Any doubts in this rule? Alam Yoge Tritiya. This is also a very commonly asked question. When the word alam, so alam means enough or stop. When you're using this word, then what you're stopping, that will be in Tritiya Vibhakti. So the common usage is alam bhayena. Enough of your fear. If you want to tell, okay, don't fear. That is in English you tell, don't fear. Hedara beda. In Sanskrit it will become alam bhayena. Or bhayam mastu is also correct, but if you're telling enough, don't fear, if you want to tell it in this way, enough, don't fear, then alam bhayena. Alam shramena, enough of your hard work. So let us say some person is meditating on a god, he wants to get some boons. Once his penance is successful and the god comes, he'll tell, alam shramena, now stop here, enough of your hard work. I'm pleased, so don't do any more hard work. If you want to tell such a usage, then alam shramena. Any doubts in this? Okay. So alam, when you use the corresponding word, what you're stopping or what you're telling is enough, that will be in Tritiya Vibhakti. Alam bhayena, alam shramena. This is also a very commonly used or a commonly given question. Bhavad yogena madhyamaha, sheshe prathamaha. So there are two ways to tell you. You can either use Yushmat Shabda, Tvam, Yuvam, Yuyam, Tvam, Tva, you can use, or Bhavan for a male person, or Bhavati for a female person. So if you can tell Tvam atra agachatu, that is you come here. Tvam you can tell, you come here, you can use Tvam, or Bhavan. If you are talking to a male person, you can use Bhavan, or if you are talking to a female person, you can use Bhavati. So Bhavati Shabda is similar to Nadi Shabda. Bhavan Shabda is Nakaranta, Takaranta Bhavat Shabda, Bhavan Bhavanto Bhavantah. So since there are two ways to tell you, then you should also remember that the Purusha, Prathama, Madhyama, Uttama Purusha, they depend based on whom you're talking to. He, she, it is all Prathama Purusha. Saha patati, sa patati, tat patati. You, Tvam will become Tvam patasi, Tvam likhasi, etc. And Aham will become Aham patami, Aham likhami. Here they have clearly mentioned, when you're using Yushman Shabda, always use Madhyama Purusha. Tvam patam patasi. Tvam patram likhasi. You will read the letter, you will read the lesson. But if you're using Bhavat Shabda, that is Bhavan or Bhavati, then always use Prathama Purusha only. Tvam patam patasi. Bhavan patam patati. Tvam patram likhasi. Bhavan patram likhati. Bhavati patram likhati. So, Bhavat Shabda when you use, always use Prathama Purusha for the verb. Kriya Pada will always be in Prathama Purusha. When you're using Yushmat Shabda, always use Madhyama Purusha in the verb. As you can see, if you're using Lot Lakara, Tvam Patha. Patatu Patatat Patatam Patantu Patha. So, Tvam Patha. But if you use Bhavan, Bhavan Pathatu. Bhavati Pathatu. So, this is how Bhavad Yogena Madhyamaha Sheshe Prathamaha. When you're using Yushmat Shabda, always the Kriya Pada should be in Madhyama Purusha. When you're using Bhavat Shabda, always the Kriya Pada should be in Prathama Purusha. Any doubts in this? Now, so these were the grammatical rules. Now we'll come to some exceptions. This also is a very common question, so please keep this Panini Sutta in mind. Rajaha Sakibhyash Touch. Rajaha Sakibhyash Touch. What this rule is saying is, when you're using Rajan Shabda, or when you use Ahan Shabda, or when you use Sakhi Shabda, in a Samasa, as I told you, Rajan is Nakaranta Pullinga, Ahan is also Nakaranta Pullinga, Sakhi is also Sakhi, Sakhino, Sakhinaha, Sakhin Shabda. So when you use all these Shabdas in a Samasa, so Mahan Chaso Rajacha, so if that's a Samasa. How to create Samasa, you learn at a later stage. But when you have some prefix to Raja, some prefix to Aha, some prefix to Sakha, then always that Pada will become, the complete word will become Akaranta, similar to Rama Shabda. Rajan is Nakaranta originally, but after the Samasa, if you get a compound word, so these are simple words. When you club multiple words together as a Samasa, it will become a compound word, and that compound word will become Akaranta Shabda, similar to Rama Shabda. For example, Maharajaha. Maharajaha is similar to Ramaha. In Chitragriva Katha, we saw Kapota Rajaha. That is also Rama Shabda. Vidarbha Rajaha. So any type of prefix, if you add to Raja, that complete word will become Akaranta Shabda. Similarly, Sakha. Priya Sakha, if you use, it will become Akaranta. Raja Sakha, Brahmana Sakha, all these are similar to Rama Shabda. Ahan is day. Saptaha is week. Aha is day. Ahan is day. Saptaha, you are creating a Samasa telling that 7 days, which is a week. Saptaha will become similar to Ramaha. Uttamaha, again, that is when something used in our Shastras, etc. Again, Uttamaha is also similar to Rama Shabda. Rajaha Sakibhyashtach. When Shabdas like Rajan Shabda, Ahan Shabda, Sakhi Shabda are used to form a Samasa, the compound word that is obtained at the end of the Samasa will become Akaranta Shabda, similar to Rama Shabda. Any doubts in this rule? Na Mang Yoge. Ma in Sanskrit means do not. Do not is ma. But when you use this ma in a sentence, if there is a verb which has an akara, for example, in most of the lang lakara, that is past tense forms, have an akarot, apathat, alikhat, etc. So all these dhatus in their lang lakara usages, usually, not always, but usually they usually come in lang lakara. It can come in some other aspects also. For example, smaha, asmaha, so sorry, asmi. So all these also will have a, but mainly if you have lang lakara which have an akara coming in front of that kriyapada, akarot, apathat, alikhat, etc. When there is a ma involved in that sentence, that akara will be removed, will be omitted. For example, in Ramodante Sundarakanda, ma vishadam kritha devi. Akrithaha is the word, but because there is ma, that akara will become lopa, that is, it will be omitted and it will become ma vishadam krithaha devi. In Bhagavad Gita also you have klaibyam mam ma smagamah partha. It's agamaha. Since there is ma, a will be removed and only you'll have klaibyam mam smagamaha partha. That is how this namang yoga works. So when you have ma in a sentence and there is a lakara, there is a kriyapada which has an akara at the beginning, then that akara will be removed and the remaining part will be used as a kriyapada. Again, when I discussed Raghuvamsham, there I told you about Kotsasya Guru Bhaktihi. There also a very famous line comes, Ma bhoot parivada navavataraha. Ma abhoot. Abhoot is the kriyapada that's actually there. But since ma is being used in the sentence, a will be removed and only bhoot will be left. Ma bhoot parivada navavataraha. Namang yoge. According to this rule, whenever the word ma, which means do not, is used in a sentence, then the verb which has an akara at the beginning will be omitted and the remaining part only will be used. For example, ma vishadam kritha devi. Here akritaha is the word, but since ma is used in the sentence, a has been omitted and only krithaha has been used. This is how you can explain in the exam. So always remember, you have to mention the Panini Sutra, explain the Panini Sutra, and explain the example given. For example, if they have given you ma vishadam kritha devi as their question, then write namang yoge, explain this in the sentences given as I've given, and tell in this sentence, akrithaha is the actual kriyapada, but since ma has been used in this sentence, a has been omitted, and the final sentence has become ma vishadam krithaha devi. Let's me. This is also very commonly given. When the avyaya sma is used in any type of sentence, then the kriyapada will always indicate past tense. Even though you write pathati, if you add a sma there, pathati sma, so pathati is reads in the present tense, but if you add the sma there, pathati sma, it will become read past tense. So that is what this rule is telling. Lat, when you use latlakara, then when you add the word sma, the avyaya sma there, that present tense latlakara will indicate past tense together along with sma. Saha pathati, that is present tense. Saha apathat is the past tense, but the other way of telling it is saha pathati sma. Saha apatat, saha patati sma. So both are past tense. Maruti, again in Ramodante Sundarakanda, astesma marutis tatra is what is the sentence. Maruti tatra astesma. So aste is latlakara. Astesma is langlakara, which has a if you use actual langlakara, it will become asta. So astesma and asta both are past tense form. Let's me. According to this rule, when the avyaya sma is used along with the latlakara kriyapada, the kriyapada will indicate past tense always. Example, saha pathati is present tense, he reads. Saha pathati sma is he read, which is an alternative to saha apathat. Let's me. According to this Panini Sutra, whenever the avyaya sma is used in a sentence along with the latlakara kriyapada, the verb indicates past tense always. For example, saha patati is he reads, which is present tense. But if you write saha patati sma, now it will become he read, which is past tense. So saha apatat, saha patati sma. Now both of them are past tense. So when you add sma along with the latlakara kriyapada, that verb will now become past tense. Now coming to patra lekhanam. So whatever we discussed till now are all vyakarana visheshas, which are most commonly used. If you come across any other vyakarana vishesha, please let me know in the group. I will make a similar type of write up and I can share it with you so that you can cover that up as well. Because based on what I went through in the exercises as well as in the previous year question papers, these were some of the most commonly asked questions which I came across. Hence I compiled these separately. Now we'll discuss about patra lekhanam. Again, patra lekhanam is actually a very open topic. You can't prepare completely, but all I can do is give you some formats for you to follow. So you can expect 3 different types of letters. First is a letter to your teacher. It can be for any reason, mainly for asking a leave. So one is a leave letter. Second is a letter written to your parents or your friend or someone. So some of your relatives, which is an informal letter. So it will be to your father, your mother, your brother, your friend. So all these are one type of informal letter. And the third letter is official or formal letter, which you write to some officer or to some company or to some library. So these are the 3 different varieties of letters that are commonly asked for Thritiya exam. So we'll discuss one by one. First, we'll take one of the simplest type of patra, which is viramartham adhyapakebhyah mukhyopadhyayebhyah patram. So that is, you're writing a letter, a leave letter to either your teacher or to the principal. So it can be one of them. So always don't assume the question. Read the question correctly and see, because if they've given adhyapakebhyah patram, please keep it as adhyapakebhyah only. Don't write mukhyopadhyayebhyah. So copy the exact question as it is wherever needed. So I've given you this format. All you have to do is fill in the blanks. So the letter will start like this. School name, whatever is your school name, you can choose anything. You can either choose your actual school name or you can choose some imaginary school name. So I'll first discuss this format. In the next slides, I'll tell you how to fill these up. So school name, Shala. So what is your final goal? You're telling, I am a student in this class in your school. That is this name school. And my salutations to you. First, you're saluting to the teacher. First, you should tell, okay, my salutations to you. Then you're telling that, respected teacher, I will be unable to come because of some reason to the class. And I won't be there till this time. So you'll tell that either it's for 1 day, 2 days, whatever. So I won't be available for the 2 days from this day to this date. Hence, please, I request you to grant me the leave. And I will always, I'll make sure that I cover all the portions covered during that time from my friends. So this is your entire letter, which is a common format. The things that will change is your school name, your class, and your name. 3 things. In addition, when, why. So these are the 5 points that you should write on your own, and that will be partly given. So they won't give you your school name, they won't give you your standard, they won't give you your name. These 3 you can choose anyway. You can either keep it fixed, or on the day of the exam, whatever you feel like writing, you can write. That is left to you. The reason and the time can sometimes be given clearly or not. The reason will always be given. So viramartham. But what is the reason for taking leave? That may not be given or may be given. And how many days or for what time, that also may or may not be given. That is left to you. So read the question and understand. If it is a blank question, viramartham patram, a leave letter. So you can write anything. You can fill all these details based on your wish. So you can write, I am going to my friend's birthday, so I won't be able to come. I'm going to some temple, I won't be able to come. There is some puja in my house, I won't be able to come. So all that is left to you. But if they've mentioned Devalaya darshanartham viramartham patram, if they mention clearly Devalaya darshanartham, then you should use that only as the reason. So this is your common format. Dash shalayaha adhyapakanam. Again, read the question. If they've given adhyapakebhyah, then adhyapakanam sannidhau. If they've given mukhyopadhyayebhyah, mukhyopadhyayanam sannidhau. Dash kaksha. That is your, see, usually you'll be like a high school student or a school student. So please remember correctly and follow the same format everywhere. So kakshayaha, navama kakshayaha, ashtama kakshayaha, panchama kakshayaha, whatever. So that section or the standard. Chhatrasya, your name, Ramasya, Krishnasya, Sitayaha, Ramayaha, etc. Sadara pranamaha. That is your first line. Manyaha adhyapakaha or manyaha mukhyopadhyayaha, based on the question. Aham Samayah. So this samayah is shvah. So when are you taking the leave? Are you taking it from tomorrow, next week, next Monday? So you should mention that in this time. Shvah, agami somavasare, agami mangalavasare. So that one you should mention in the time. Reason. Vivahartham, that is someone's marriage. Puja vidhi karyartham, devalaya darshanartham, all these, or janmadina samarambhartham. So all these will be a reason. Asti, that is, I've mentioned asti, but you can write gachami, devalayam prati gachami, or puja prati gachami, or puja asti. So you can use either gachami or asti, but please make sure you're grammatically correct. Aham shvaha devalayam prati gachami, or Tirupati Devalayam, because Devalaya can be the temple next to your house. So always use common sense clearly while rating patra, because you should understand, if you're taking a leave, you should take it for some good reason. If you're going to Tirupati, then yes, you need a leave. So please make sure that your leave reason is valid. So aham Tirupati Devalayam prati shvah gachami. So that will be one reason. Or mama grihe puja, some puja, Satyanarayana puja asti, shvah asti. So mention, because for Satyanarayana puja, it can be 1 day or 2 days, depending on what is the type of puja you're doing. So give such valid reasons. Then you'll tell, ataha aham, hence I, when, from which, till which date won't you be there? So if you're telling, so next Monday. So please, if you're writing dates, please be clear. Don't write some random dates, write proper dates. So today is 25th of July. So if you're telling next Monday, that will be 2nd of August. So aham 2nd August 2/8/2021 paryantam, till this date shalam agantum na shaknomi, I won't be able to come. So first time will be the start date, aham that time, that is start date. Ataha aham, that date is your end date. Till what date won't you be available? If it is just 1 day, aham shvah puja, mama grihe shvah puja asti. Ataha, if puja is only for 1 day, ataha aham 26/7/2021 paryantam shalam agantum na shaknomi. Kripaya, the next sentence is common. Kripaya bhavantah avadhi. Here it is important. So you should decide. So if you're going for Tirupati, you need 2 days. So shvaha aham gachami, ataha aham 27/7/2021 paryantam na agachami. Hence 2 days, tomorrow as well as 27. So kripaya bhavantah dinadvayam, dinatrayam, dina ekam, whatever is your avadhi. Mahyam viramam yachantu iti prarthayami. Mama virama samaye puritan pathan mitrebhyah jnatva purayishyami. The last sentence is compulsory. You have to mention, because you have to make sure that the teacher agrees that you will complete your homework or whatever is the work given. So that last sentence is common. Finally, iti bhavatam vidheyah vidyarthi. Bhavatam vidheya vidyarthi is correct. Vidheyah vidyarthi, your name. Next line is your kaksha. Whatever kaksha you have mentioned in the letter, please write. Don't write Shashtama kaksha there and Dashama kaksha here. Maintain consistency. So iti bhavadiyah videyah vidyarthi, your name, your class. After that, below that, on the left hand side, so again, make sure that you're writing it in the same order. If something is on the right, keep it to the right. If something is on the left, keep it to the left. So after writing your name and your class, class, on the right side, again write your shala, the school name, comma, the place. Here I've written Bengaluru. You can write Mysuru, Dharwad, whatever you want. Below that, the date of your letter. Because understand, a leave letter, you don't post a leave letter into a postman. So don't start writing from to, etc. Because you hand over the letter. Hence, all you have to mention is on which date this letter was given. So you just write a school name, comma, address, or the place, just the place. Don't write the complete address. And then the date of the letter. So you're not posting this letter. So don't make envelope symbols, or don't write Tirankaha and then start writing the complete address to from. Don't write that. Now, coming to what are the options you can use to fill in the blanks. School name. Again, if you don't know any school name, or if you want to be safe, use this. Jnana Ganga Shala, Jnana Sagra Shala. Keep simple names which will constant. Don't change it. Whatever be the reason for the letter, whatever be it. If they've not mentioned, if they've mentioned you are a student from Vidya Mandira Shala, then you should use that name only. But usually they don't mention. So keep one name constantly with you so that you don't forget it and so that you don't have to worry about it. So this is what I've given you. You can use any of them. Standard, Ashtama, Navama, Dashama. These are the 3 safe options to use. If you want to use something else, you're free to use. And then the student name. If you want to write your own name, please be sure you know the Anta, Linga, Vibhakti, Vachana of your name. If your name is Hari, don't write Harasya. Harasya is correct. If your name is Hara, you don't write Haresya, etc. If you want to keep it simple, either write Ramasya, Sitayaha. Keep simple names so that you don't have to worry about vibhakti, which vachana, all this. So the school name, your standard, and your name. Keep your name simple. And if you want to use your own name, please be sure you know the Shashti Vibhakti Ekavachana for writing this letter. So this is the first set of fill in the blanks. Second set, again, the time, the first time, Shvaha, Agami Somavasa, that is tomorrow, or the next Monday, or the next Tuesday, something like that if you want to use. Always try to keep it to Shvaha because it's easier. If you want to try to use more sophisticated words, you can use Agami Somavasa, the coming Monday. So you're giving the letter on 26, that is this Monday. You're telling next Monday I'm going somewhere. So Agami Somavasare, Agami Mangalavasare, etc. Karana. Always try to, of course, if they've not mentioned anything, try to be in these 3 to 4 that I'm mentioning here to be safe. But if they've mentioned it, then follow that is given in the question. Agrajasya vivahaha. So, shvaha mama agrajasya vivahaha asti. Simple, one sentence. Or shvaha janmadina samarambha mama mitrasya janmadina samarambha asti. So, all these I'm trying to give because I'm using asti there. Since Gachami also you can use, but I'm making sure that if you want to have a fixed format, then you can use these examples or these reasons so that you cannot change the format very much. Or Shvaha mama grihe devata puja asti. Shvaha mama grihe yatrotsavaha asti. Or mama nagare yatrotsavaha asti. So use these examples. Ataha aham dinanka. So end date. Always keep a track of when you're asking for that. So if you're taking Shvaha, make sure that you give some later date. See, I've made a mistake here. Today is already 25th and I'm giving 20th here. So that is not the right thing because in the dinanka, in the end, here if you write the dinanka as, okay, I'm going back just a minute. Yeah. So, yeah, as I was telling you, okay, it's not changing. Okay, let me do it like this. Yeah. So here you have dinanka here. So if your letter date is something like 25th, that is 26th, that is today, that is Monday, and if you write I won't be available till 20th, then the letter does not make sense. So please always be sure of what you're writing and see if that everything matches. So dinanka, that this dinanka should be an end date. Don't write some other date. Avadhi, dinadvayam, dinatrayam. Always try to keep these two options because they're safe. So try to tell that I won't come shvaha, that is tomorrow 26th, and I won't be coming till 27th. So that is dinadvayam. Or 28th dinatrayam. So try to keep it to 2 to 3 days. Of course, you can't ask for a week's vacation also. So being practical also, just ask for 2 to 3 days. So this is the model letter that I have written here. So you can either take a note. Of course, this won't be useful because if the things change, if the reason changes, then this won't be of any use. So here I've written Vidyadhara Shalayah Adhyapakanam. Again, I've mentioned or use one based on the question. Sannidhau Dashamakakshayah Chatrasya Krishnasya Sadara Pranamah. Krishnaha Rama, simple. Manyaha Adhyapakaha Somavasare. So here I mentioned Somavasare. So here when I wrote this letter, it was 24th, that was Saturday. Hence I'm telling Somavasare. So I'm giving the letter on Saturday, telling that from Monday I won't be coming. So 24th was a Saturday. Hence Somavasare on the Monday. Mahama Grihe Satyanarayana Puja Asti. There is Satyanarayana Puja in my house. Ataha aham 27, that is Tuesday, Paryantam Shalam Prati Agantum na Shaknomi. Kripaya Bhavanta Dinadvayam, because Monday, Tuesday, Dinadvayam Mahyam Viramam Yichantu Parthayami. The last sentence is common. Mama Vidheya, Mama Virama Samaye Puritan Patan Puraishyami. Again, don't read Chadrasya Krishna Sadra Pranamaha Iti Bhavadiya Videya Vidyati Ramaha. So it's like Krishna is taking leave, but I'm giving the letter. So please maintain consistency. Recheck your letter. You have a lot of time, and this actually is usually the letter writing will take less time if you are well prepared. So read the letter twice, thrice. Make sure all the grammatical points are correct. Don't try to use, again, one more thing, don't try to use karmani prayoga, bhave prayoga, etc. Try to stick to simple kartari prayoga sentences. Aham shvaha na agachami. Mama grihe puja asti. Aham Tirupati devalayam gachami. Simple sentences. You can give 4 to 5 sentences and complete this letter. Any doubts in this first form of letter?
No, Anna.
Okay. The second is the informal or the letter written to your pitaram, madaram, bradaram, mitram. So your parents, brothers, sisters, friends, all these are informal letters. So the format will be, so this actually, if they give you informal letter, then you should be careful because there are a lot of points where you can lose marks. First one, kshemam. Always on the left top corner, always you should write kshemam. Shrihi, in the top middle, always write Shrihi. In the top right corner, always write Sthalam. There's a place, Bengaluru, Mysuru, Dharwad, etc. And Dinanka, the date when the letter was written. The Dinanka's date when the letter was written, not when you post it or when they receive it. But the date when you write the letter is Dinanka. First is Sambodhana. So Sambodhana will, again, as I've told, we'll discuss what you have to fill in each part, but this is the general format. Sambodhana, it will depend based on whom you're writing to, Mata, Pita, Bhrata, Mitra, etc. First line is, everything is constant. First line, you should always write these 3 sentences to start. Aham atra kushali, I am fine here. Tatrapi sarve kushalinaha iti patra dwara jnatavan. And I've come to know that everything is fine there from the previous letter. Whatever letter you had written, I came to know that everything is fine there. Atra mam pathanam samyak prachaliti. So always letter writing is given to students, so they know that you are studying. Hence, always include this sentence that my studies are going on well, because everyone will be worried about that. Parents, the first thing they'll ask you is how is your studies. So tell it first only that everything is fine, studies are going fine. Now comes the Vishaya. Vishaya is actually something you can never prepare for, because the Vishaya will change drastically. There can't be a format at all for Vishaya because the topic for the letter can change drastically. One, they can ask you Varshikotsavasya Vishaye, Shala Varshikotsavasya Vishaye likatu, then Dhanam Yachayitva Patram likatu for Pravasa, or tell that how did your exams go. So many questions can come. So you can never be prepared for Vishaya. Just try to write 5 to 6 short lines. If you can write better, go to 7 to 8 lines. Finally, end it with Grihe Sarvebhyah Mama Pranaman Suchayatu or Suchayantu. Suchayatu, you'll be telling it if you're telling it to Mitra. Suchayantu will be telling it to Pitara, Pita, Mata, etc. You're giving more respect. Finally, Iti Bhavadiya if you're a male, if you're writing it as a male. Iti Bhavadiya if you're writing it as a female. Relation will begin if you're writing to your father, you'll either be a son or a daughter. Again, for mother also son or a daughter. Bhrata, it will be either your brother or sister. Iti Bhavadiya, Anujaha, Agrajaha, Anuja, Agraja, etc. Mitram will be Mitram. Iti Bhavadiya, Priya Mitra. Finally, your name. Here, again, one more point where you can lose marks is Patra Sanketa. Always fill 1, 2, 3. These 3 should also be there at the end, because these letters you will have to post it and it has to reach that person. So, Patra Sanketa, that is your postal address. Sakashat, from. So, Sakashat, write that and then write your name, the sender's name and your address. Savidhe, to whom you're sending it, to your father, your mother, friend, etc. and their address. So, what to fill here? Kshemam, Shrihi, Sthalam. So, again, don't forget Kshemam, don't forget Shrihi. Sthalam, it can be Bengaluru, Mysuru, Dharwad, etc. Dinanka is date, the date when you write. So, again, please use practical knowledge and write proper dates. Sambodhana. So, this is something that is important. If you're writing it to Pita, Pujya Pitre Namaha. Again, Namaha, you should use Chaturthi. Pitre. Pujya Matre Namaha. Pujya Bhratre Namaha. So, say Bhrata is an elder brother. So, you're saluting him. But if it's a younger brother, Anujaha or Anuja, Anujaya Ashishaha, you're blessing him. Since you are elder to your Anuja, Anujaya Ashishaha, Anujayai Ashishaha. If it's a sister, Anujayai Ashishaha. Mitra is Priyamitra Sadaram Pranama. So remember these Sambodhanas. If it's a father, mother, elder brother, younger brother or sister, friend. Priyamitram Sadaram Pranama. Next. Vishaya, as I told you, it's very broad. You can never prepare for this in advance. Write 7 to 8 simple sentences. Finally, Iti Bhavadiya or Bhavadiya, Putraha, Anujaha, Agrajaha, Mitram, whatever. That again, if you're writing to your mother, don't write Tava Bhrata, because it will become again, it will be totally wrong. So if you're writing to your father, either be a Putra or Putri. Again, model letter. So Shala Varshikotsavam Varnayan, describing your school annual day. Pitaram Prati Patram. You are writing a letter to your father. Kshemam Shrihi, Sthalam Mysuru. So you are writing from Mysuru. Dinanka is 25th. So you are writing it today. Pujya Pitre Namaha. My salutations to father. Ahamatra Kushali, Tatrapi Sarve Kushalana iti Patadvara Gnatavan, Atra Mama Pathanam Samyak Prachalati. First thing, these 3 sentences you must and should write. Now, Mama Shala Varshikotsavaha Gata Saptahe. In the previous week, 27/20/21. Again, why I told you to write this properly is if you write the date as 18th of July, and if you write 20th of July, you are describing. How will you describe something that's happening in the future? So again, use practical knowledge. So in the previous week, on 20th of July, there was my school annual day. Abhavat. Again, use past tense. It's something in the past. Karyakramaha uttamaha asit. So all these will be in past tense because you're talking about something that's already happened. So please keep that in mind. Karyakramaha uttamaha asit. It was good. Tatra atitihi Karnataka Shikshana Mantri asit. The chief guest was the Karnataka Education Minister. Varshikotsave Ganam Nrityam Natakani cha asan. There were music, dance and drama. Ahamapi Samskrita Ramayana Natake Bharatasya Patram Dhritavan. I had also enacted in Ramayana, Samskrita Ramayana Nataka as Bharata. Karyakramasya ante atitihi chhatrebhyah paritoshikam cha dattavan. Also understand, if it's a Varshikotsava, there shall be prize distribution. So Karyakramasya ante, at the end of the program, atitihi, the guest, chhatrebhyah, to the students, paritoshikam cha dattavan. He gave the prizes. Aham Samskrita Prabandha Spardhayam Prathamasthanam Praptavan Khalu. So you have already probably told in some previous letter that you have got first prize in Sanskrit essay writing. So you are again reminding them. So Ham Praptavan Khalu, I had got the first prize, right? Tat Paritoshikam Atiti Mahodayena Svikritavan. I received that prize for that competition from the chief guest. Yada Aham Grishma Virame. So understand, you are in July. So the next holidays that you are getting. So you have already taken your summer holidays and you have come. Now it is your next you will get a winter holiday. So Grishma Virame. In the winter vacation, Yada Aham Agachami. When I come Agachami, Tada Paritoshikam Bhavachitram to Darshayami. At that point of time, I will show you my prize as well as the photo. So they'll take a photograph when you take a prize. So Paritoshikam Bhavachitram to Darshayami. I will show you my prize and the photograph. Grahe Sarvebhyah Mama Pranama Suchayantu. Here Suchayantu will be there. Suchayantu will be removed. Iti Bhavadiha Putraha Krishna. Patra Sanketa, again, Sakashat is from. Sakashat is from. Sakashat is from. Savide is to. Savide is to. So Sakashat, Krishna, Vijayanagaram, Mysuru. Please remember, Mysuru here, Bengaluru here, wrong. Mysuru here and Mysuru should always be here. Savide, Narayana, your father's name is Narayana, Jayanagaram, Bengaluru. So this is your model letter for informal letter. The final type of letter is Karyalayam Pratipatram. That is, if you're writing it to some office, to some officer, to some institution, like if you're writing, I want admission into your college, I want some book in your library. So if you're writing it to such official people, your teachers is separate. Officially, if you want to write some letter, then this is the format. Svikarta, that is the receiver, Sanketaha. The receiver's address will be here. So first you'll write his name. If you know his name, write his name, or else write Svikarta only. Svikarta, below that you write his address. So if you're writing it to some library, or if you're writing it to, let us say, you want to write it to some college that you want to go and study. So, Svikarta, then you write Jnanaganga Shala, Mysuru. That's it. On the right hand side, Dinanka, the date of writing this letter, Sthalam. That is the place. Also understand, these types of letters also you don't post it. You go and deliver it by hand. So, there won't be a Patra Sanketa here as well. Vishaya. So, this is what is given in the heading. So, the question will be your Vishaya. Karyalayam Pratipatram, Vishaya Karyalayam Pratipatram. That will be your Vishaya. First and only Manyaha, respectable people. Vishaya, this body, again, it can totally change based on the question. 4 to 6, keep it short. Don't write a big paragraph like how you wrote for your father, your friend, etc. Keep it short. At the end of that, write Dhanyavadaha. Again, write Dinanka. So this Dinanka and this Dinanka should match. This Thala and this Thala should match. So this is for you to write from where you have written. And this is when you're giving it to them. On the letter, you would have again written it. So this is again a repetition. Again, iti bhavadiya bhavadiya. In teacher, in the leave letter, you would have written bhavadiya videya vidyarthi. In informal letter, iti bhavadiya putraha. But here it is bhavadiya or bhavadiya, nothing else. Don't write putraha, putri, vidyarthi. Don't write anything. Just bhavadiyah, and here write your name. Again, the vishaya. The only thing that is a problem here is vishaya, and that is what you cannot predict. A model thing is this. So pustaka preshanaya patram. So let us say there is some library, there is a book there, and you want that book. So you are requesting the librarian or the person who is in charge of the library to give you that book or help you get that book. So let us say the library does not have that book, but you want that, and you are requesting a letter asking for that book. So that is what this is. Pustaka preshanaya patram. Again, right? See, remember, dinanka on the top and bottom is same. Sthala on the top and bottom is same. Svikarta. I don't know who is in charge of the library. I don't know his name. I don't know what is his designation, nothing. So just write Svikarta. Below that, Jnana Sagara Pustakaleya, Jayanagaram, Bengaluru. Again, don't write, okay, you can rate a different place like Dharwad, etc. But try to keep it in Bengaluru only so that it is more practical. Vishaya, again, Pustaka Preshanaya Patram, Pustaka Preshanaya Patram. Manyaha, Aham Ramaha, Dashama Kshatraha Asmi. I am a 10th standard student called Rama. Mama Parikshartham Bhavat Prakashitasya Samskrita Shabdakoshasya Avashyakata Asti. For my exam, Mama Parikshartham, for my exam, Bhavat Prakashitasya, the book that is published by you called Samskrita Shabdakosha. So you have published, your library has published a book called Samskrita Shabdakosha, and Avashyakata, there is a need for that book for my exam, Parikshartham. Ataha tat pustakam praptum ichhami. Hence I would like to get that book. Kripaya yatha shigram pustakam preshayantu iti prarthayami. Hence I request you to send that book, or send me that book as quickly as possible. Simple, that's it. Just four lines, you're done. First is you're introducing yourself. Second, giving the brief reason why you're writing this letter. So you have published a book, I want that book for my exam. Third is you're requesting. So since you have published that book, I want it. Kripaya yatha shigram pustakam preshayantu iti prarthayami. Dhanyavadaha iti bhavadiyah Ramaha dinanka sthala. So this is what I wanted to discuss with you today. And if you have any doubts, please let me know.
Anna, they will give like 3 letters we have to write in that one, Anna.
They'll usually give you 2 letters and they'll ask you to write one. The letters can be of three forms. And again, sometimes the problem is, so if they give you at least one formal, one informal, good. Or one formal, one virama patra, good. But what happens sometimes is they'll give both Pitaram Pratipatram, Mitram Pratipatram. At that point of time, you have no other option but to choose one of them. So your letter will become lengthy. So please try to avoid grammatical mistakes as much as possible. And go through some previous year question papers. Previous year question papers are very good. If you want some question papers, I'll just share my screen so you can just see that. Yeah. So all you have to do is just a minute. So all you have to do is go to GGSS, our website. So GGSS is the website that we have. Gita Govinda Sanskruta Sangha. There go to study material. There go to old question papers. Here you are writing Surasaraswathi Sabha Pariksha. So click on Surasaraswathi Sabha Pariksha, and here you'll get an entire list of all the question papers that have been compiled by GGSS. So Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Turiya, Pravesha. So Tritiya. So you have from 2006 till 2021. So choose some random papers. Even if you are practicing some question papers, choose some papers and you can answer it from here. Or if you want some specific questions, you want to know all the letters that have been given by Surasaraswathi Sabha, then you can open these. So if you open it, it will show like this. So this is how the exam will show, or the paper will show. So again, this was what I was telling you. So if they have given you Janmadina Mahotsavartham Ahvayan Mitranaya Patram. So you're inviting your friend for a birthday party. That's an informal letter you're writing to your friend. Anarogya Nimitram Viramam Prathayam. So you're writing a leave letter. But here again, remember, Anarogya Nimittam, they have given you the reason. You can't tell, after they have given you this question, you can't tell Satyanarayana Puja asti. You have to tell, Mama Arogyam Samichinam Nasti, Ataha Aham Shala Magantuna Shaknomi. So please read the question correctly. And again, it's given to Mukhyopadhyaya. So please address it to Mukhyopadhyaya, don't write Adhyapaka. So this is how the questions will be given. So if they give you like this, one to Mitra, one as Virama, I would probably choose Virama Patra because it is shorter. The format is quite fixed. All you have to do is change the reason. But let us say you get something like this. I think there was one more paper that I was checking. Just a minute. There was one paper wherein both the questions. Yeah, okay. This is again pravasartham dhana preshanaya pitaram prati patram. So you're going on a trip, on an excursion with your friends. So you need money for that. So you're writing a letter to your father requesting for money. That is informal letter. Second one is anarogini mitram viramapatram. Again, a leave letter because of some health issues. So if you have something like this, then I would probably take. Of course, it's left to your comfort zone. If you're comfortable writing a letter to your father, please go ahead. But if you want to write lesser sentences and make lesser mistakes, probably such informal or viramapatras are very good. Yeah. So again, here also you have an advantage wherein one is Varshikotsavam Varnayan. So you are explaining your annual day. And Bhaginyaha Vivahartam, your sister's marriage. I have used Agrajasya Vivaha, just make it Bhaginyaha Vivaha, your sister's marriage. So if you get it like this, yes, you can choose, you have some good options. But if you get both as, it's not always like this. There can be places where they can give both of them as this thing, informal letters. So be prepared even for that. So any doubts or any questions that you have?
No,
Sir,
Anna.
in Vyakarana Dosham, Vyagrat Bhayam, in one paper it was there, sir.
Okay, okay. Bhityarthanam Bhaya Hetuhu is the Panini Sutra. Okay, I will. I would encourage you to like type these, or send the photographs of these, questions on the group. I will give you the Panini Sutra and the explanation as well. But yeah, I didn't come across this question, so probably I missed it. So yeah, whenever you're showing.
It was in August 2011, sir. It was that paper long back.
Yeah, so whenever I probably went through some 4 or 5 year question papers and probably I didn't find it. Okay, I will come across. Yeah, if you, again, very good. Please, if you're referring through some question papers and if you have some doubts, post it on the group. Me or Rajimis will, clarify your doubt. So, Bhityarthanam Bhaya Hetu, who is the Panini Sutra. Whenever you are showing fear, the cause
Apadane
of fear,
Panchami.
Yeah, Apadane Panchami is also Bhityarthanam Bhaya Hetu, who is also Panchami. So, when you are showing fear, the cause of fear will be in Panchami. Vyagrat Bhayam. You are scared of the tiger. The cause of fear will be in Panchami. Yeah. So I'll write this Panini Sutra and send it across in the group. So please post these questions. Please.
Anna, in one paper they had given like Maya Rochate.
Okay. Yeah. Ruchyarthanam Priyamanaha is the Panini Sutra for that. Yeah. Ruchyarthanam Priyamanaha. If you like something, Maya Rochate, sorry, Mahyam Rochate. Rochate, when you use the dhatu roch, then who is liking will be in Chaturthi Vibhakti. Yeah, I will. Yeah, please make sure that you post these questions on the group. I will answer them in the group. Okay?
Okay, Anna.
Okay. So if there are no more doubts, we'll conclude today's class. It was probably a lengthy class, but I had to cover 2 grammatical points. So hope this was helpful. Please start preparing. Please ask questions that you have. And I may not be able to answer immediately, but I will try my best to answer it as quickly as possible. And we can continue doing that. So probably in the next week, what do you want me to start? Like, what do you want me to take up? Any lesson that you want revision on or anything like that, please let me know now so that I can prepare for that. Any mains or any particular sections? Because actually for Prabandha Lekhanam, if you see my Thritiya playlist, I have explained, of course, it might be a little more advanced, but I think you can refer to that video on Prabandha Lekhanam for tips on essay writing. So if you want some more information, probably we can have another class, but for Prabandha Lekhanam especially, I have made a video and it's available on my playlist. So you can go through that. Yeah.
Anna, next class, can you do Panchatantra Katha Mukam?
Okay, Panchatantra Katha Mukam we'll do. Of course, you can go through the video. So what part of Panchatantra Katha Mukam do you want? Is it the lesson? Is it what part of Panchatantra Katha Mukam?
Anna, actually, I need a little bit practice in Chitragriva Katha and Panchatantra Katha Mukam because I didn't understand a few parts.
So it is the lesson part that you have to understand, right?
Yes, Anna.
Okay, so we will discuss again. Probably we may not be able to go in detail. Just the parts where there's confusion, we'll discuss these 2 lessons, Chitragriva Katha as well as Panchatantra Katha Mukam. Sure. Any other lessons that you have? Any particular parts of some lessons we can take up?
And Samasa Chandas also used.
Samasa Chandas is not there for Thritiya. So it will be there for Turiya.
For Turiya. For Turiya.
Yeah, for Chandas, I've made a separate video which you can see there. But Samasa, I think Tejesh will be handling it for Turiya. So you can, go through the videos there.
Okay.
For Tritiya students, any other doubts you have?
Sir, actually, for the Prabandha Lekanam, they asked to write only 10 sentences, but in the model answer paper they gave, it was so big. We have to write big, or 10 to 12 sentences is enough?
So yeah, see, the concept is the question. If you see even in the main question paper, dvitrehi vakyehi uttaram likata. Answer in 2 to 3 sentences is the question. But sometimes I went through one of the question paper. The question in 2 to 3 line answer question was Shankaracharyasya Shishyaha ke. It is a 1 line answer. Shankaracharyasya Shishyaha, Padmapadacharya, Trodakacharya. Just name the 4 people. But still it is 2-3 line answer. But for some cases, what will happen is Chitragrivah kaha sah kapotan katham arakshat. That can be a question. So that can require more than 2-3 lines. So the 2-3 lines is just a mark. You can write more than that, no problem. Similarly, in Prabandha also, they would have mentioned Dashavakyehi, Panchadashavakyehi Prabandham Likata, but you can exceed. Only point is, don't write less than that. Try to write a little more than what they have asked, but don't write too much. If they've asked you 10 sentences, don't write 20 sentences. 15 is good, but try to use simple sentences, good sandhis, proper grammatical points. That should be good. Always also try to include subhashitas. Subhashitas can help you make your answer very beautiful. And also, again, if you go through the video that I've given on, made on Prabandha Lekanam, you'll understand that. Try to write simple sentences and go through your previous books. Balbodh, Prarambha, Prathama, Dvitiya. All these have those short lessons. Induhu, Ravihi, Shambhuhu, all these small lessons you had. Go through that, because most of the topics that were given in Tritiya or Divakara, all these, even in Turiya, they are given the same. So you can use those sentences and build up on your Prabandha. So please go through your previous books. If you don't have, get it from someone or take a photo of those lessons and keep it with you. Go through those lessons. It will be very helpful. So again, you can visit my Prabandha video, because I have taken an entire class just for Prabandha Lekanam. So there will be more details in that. So any other doubts you can clarify. So in the next class, we are discussing Chitragriva Katha, Panchatantra Katha Mukham. So we'll take up these 2 lessons in the next class. Okay, so with that, we'll conclude today's class. Okay. Gurureva gatihi gurumeva bhaje gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave na guroh paramam shishurasmi guror matirasti gurau mama pahi guru. Ram Ram Ram.